So, welcome to the next session, for the subject of engineering mechanics, and today's topic again beams and supports. So, in last class we have discussed about the how to calculate the reactions for a simply supported beam, and we also discussed about the solve two problems. Now, let us solve some more problems on the this beams and supports. That is nothing but support calculation of support reactions. Right. By the end of this class, we should be able to solve the problems calculation and on calculation of support reactions for simply supported cantilever and as well as overhang beams using conditions of equilibrium. Okay. So equilibrium conditions already we have discussed what are the different equilibrium conditions. So let us see what is the equilibrium condition. So equilibrium conditions are static equilibrium conditions, of course. Those are nothing but sum of the forces is equal to sum of the forces about horizontal is nothing but equal to 0, that is nothing but sigma fx is equal to 0, and the y-axis is equal to 0, that is sigma y is equal to 0, and sum of the moments is equal to 0. Means sum of the horizontal forces equal to 0, sum of the vertical force equal to 0, and sum of the moments is equal to 0. So these are the conditions are very much required for us in solving the reactions, finding the reactions, unknown reactions of the different types of beams. Now let us see one by one problems. Uh, last class we have in last lecture class we have discussed about the what is nothing but how to solve the different support, how to calculate the support reactions for simply supported beam for different loads. Okay, two loads, one loads, etc. Now in this class, let us solve some more problems. So in previous class, we have to only use the point loads. Now let us discuss about the UDLs. Okay, so UDL, what is even a UDL? So UDL is nothing but uniformly distributed load. Right? So it is uniformly distributed load. UDL is nothing but uniformly distributed load. So, so this in this case is for this problem. So load is about it is for it is total 8 kilonewton per meter for a length of 8 meters. Of course, this should not be there, and it is total 4 meters. Okay, nothing is there. So this you can remove it, and it is nothing but total 4 meters length. It is loaded with UDL, that is 8 kilonewton meter, and remaining for 3 meters no load. Okay, so it is in this case A and B are two supports. So we have to find the reaction at A and the reaction at B. That is nothing but support reaction at support reaction at A, support reaction at B. Now let us see one by one. So this if you see the problem, this previous one and this one. So can you see the difference? This one, previous one and this one. See, in this one it is UDL is there. Problem is it is given is UDL, but we are converted that UDL into a point load. Okay, so it is nothing but a UDL converted into a point load, right? So it is nothing but what is converted. So what is the total load it is? Of course, I will take a figure here itself so that it will be necessarily not move again for back and forth, back and forth. So like I will take the same diagram here. So in this problem, it is support, right? This is support A, support B, right? And UDL is there up to certain length. Okay, so up to 4 meters length. The UDL is up to 4 meters length, and the intensity of load is 8 kilonewton per meter. Okay, 8 kilonewton per meter. Okay, 8 kilonewton per meter. So it is up, and this span is 3 meters, of course. So 8 kilonewton per meter, and this is 3 meters. Now let us see, let us solve this. How to convert this into? It is said that RA and RB are support reaction A and B. For the purpose of calculation, the uniformly distributed load can be considered to be equivalent to a point load. So with the magnitude is equal to 8 into 4 is equal to 32 kilonewtons, acting as shown below. So how it is equivalent? How to calculate the equivalent point load? So calculation of equivalent point load. Equivalent to a calculation of converting, you can say converting a UDL into a equivalent point load. Okay, converting a UDL into a equivalent point load. First, it is if you can able to convert that one, so it will become like just like a point load. So it is point load is okay. Afterwards, point load is a calculation of moment will be easy, because initial stages, if your UDL is there, then there is always there will be a confusion. So how to calculate the total load as well as how to convert the load and how to calculate this moment calculation is little bit always confusing. So like first we have to say that in this case, let us first convert this UDL into point load. Okay. At initial stage, this is a requires. Okay, this conversion is required. After that, once it is acquainted with this all these things, it is no need of any conversion every time. Directly, everyone you can say that no anyone can say that how to calculate the moment. That is it. Okay. Now let us see how to first initial stages how to convert this into point load, so that that will become calculation of moment become easier. Okay. Now let us see. So this is what is the UDL. So UDL intensity of UDL is intensity of load is nothing but 8 kilonewton per meter. And what is the for how much distance is acting? So for a length of it is for a span of 4 meters. UDL is acting for a span of 4 meters. Now this convert into this. Can you see this units? So it is nothing but kilonewton per meter. Always UDL units will be UDL or varying load units will be 8 kilonewton per meter. And okay, so that will now this is converting into point load. Generally, what is the units of point loads? That will be kilonewtons. Point load or concentrated load units are kilonewton. Okay, whereas UDL units are kilonewton per meter or Newton per meter, right? Like that, it's a per meter length. Their distribution means per meter length. How much? What is the intensity of load that will be mentioned in terms of load per unit meter. Okay, load per meter, load per unit run. Okay, unit run means it can be meter, not be always a meter. It can be a centimeter, it can be a millimeter. But generally, it is. Of course, loads will not be mentioned in a small area. Mm and centimeters will not consider. Generally, you don't consider for the. That's why it is always generally it will be per meter length. Now, in this case, the uniformly distributed load is 8 kilonewton per meter. Now, let us convert this 8 kilonewton into a point load. Right. So, what is the intensity of load? This is 8. 8 into what is for what span it is 4 meters. 8 into 4. It is nothing but 32 kilonewtons. 32 kilonewtons. 32 kilonewtons. It is the intensity of load is nothing but 32. Equivalent load is nothing but 32 kilonewtons. So it is just like it is 32 kilonewton meter. But where we have to show, either at the starting point or at this point or this point, or where we have to show. Okay. So until unless, because we have to know that where is the point of application. Okay. So until unless without knowing the point of application, we cannot calculate the moment. Right. So that's why we need to calculate the moments. Then we need to calculate where the point of application. To get the point of application. So where is general for UDLs? Where it is applied nothing but it is will be applied at the center of the load. Okay, center of the load, uniformly distributed load. It will be applied at the center of the load. Or generally, because speaking, it is centroid. Okay, but as we are not covered centroid, what is centroid? How to calculate centroid? We are not covered. That will be next topic. So let us, for time being, it is just like a UDL is nothing but just like it is a rectangle. Okay, it is a rectangle, just like it is a rectangular road, of course. Okay, so while discussing, we are drawn like this. This is nothing but UDL. Okay, we have to show the UDL with it like a box. Okay, so this is a UDL, right? So this is like this. We have to show, right? Like this. This is like a rectangular box, right? So it is for a rectangular box where center lies. Where the center lies, center is nothing but at the middle point. So that same thing here. Okay, so it is nothing but for a rectangular, the center point is nothing but it's the total length divided by 2. Okay, where the center lies means if it is what is the length in this case? It is 4 meters. Okay, so 4 meters. 4 meters where the center 4 by 2. So nothing but 2 meters. That's why it is we are showing this at the 2 meters length. Okay, this will be concentrated. This UDL is converted into a equivalent point load, and we are showing with the location where the point of application, that is nothing but at the center of the slope. Okay, center point, midpoint of the road. Midpoint means it is 4 meters, means midpoint means 2 meters. So at the midpoint of the UDL. Okay, and what is the intensity of load? In this case, what is the load? Point load. Generally, sometimes we refer this as a total load also. Okay, total load. We converted UDL into a total load. So in this case, what is the total load? 8 into 4. 8 into 4 is nothing but 32 kilonewtons. That will be like a point load. Okay. Now it is nothing but just like it is a beam is nothing but just like this. Okay. So you can convert into your beam with UDL into a like a point load, right? So total load is nothing but point load, right? Now it is just like it's very simple. Similarly, we have discussed in the previous problem, right? So how to calculate the sun support reactions when a point load applies, right? So in this case, now how to calculate the reactions? In this case, what is the problem is that only conversion of UDL into a point load or a total load. Of course, both are we look like a synonyms. We take like a synonyms. Okay. This is nothing but a point load. So how to calculate the point load? Again, so calculate the total use of equilibrium equations like sigma v is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0. Of course, sigma v m h is not applicable here because there is no horizontal loads. So we cannot apply that equation. So only the remaining two equations are nothing but sigma v is equal to 0, sigma m is equal to 0. Now apply one by one the equations. Sigma v is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0. Now, how to apply the equation? Sigma v is equal to 0 means sum of the horizontal vertical force equal to 0. Sum of the vertical forces means what are the vertical forces? These two support reactions are vertical but upward forces. These are nothing but downward forces. So sum of the v is equal to 0 is nothing but sum of the upward forces equal to sum of the downward forces. What are some of the upward forces? It is nothing but RA and RB, two unknowns. Okay, RA and RB are two unknowns which are acting upwards, right? Equal to, these are nothing but two upward. This is RA, right? And this one is RB. Okay, support reaction B. Reaction at B, reaction at A. That's a subscript R subscript A. It's nothing but reaction at A. R subscript B means reaction at B. Right. So RA plus sum of the vertical upward force is equal to A RA plus RB. Next, what are some of the downward forces? Only one force is acting, that is nothing but 32. Okay, so 32 kilonewtons. But thing is that once you are converted UDL into equivalent point load, then you should forget about the UDL. Okay, again don't consider the UDL. Again, if you consider UDL, that will get doubled. Okay, so be careful about it so that you will not consider the both. So again that load will not be considered. Right. So this is the first equation. One equation we got. Of course, two unknowns are there. So we need one more equation to solve the unknown reactions A and B at A and B. Right. So what is the other equation? Sum of the moments is equal to 0. So take the again second another equation. Sum of the moments about which point? We can take either A or B, whichever is convenient. But let us take, in this case, let us take about A. So if you take the B, if you take the A, both are one and same. The effect means what is the answer will be same, as well as the effort required will also be same. Okay. But if you take any other point, then it will be little bit of one more complication. Complication is nothing but one more equation will be lower. We have to solve two simultaneous equations. But let us take only about any one point. Let us take about the B. A, sorry. So when you take about the moment A, about A, so it is nothing but again sum of the moments, algebraic sum of all the moments about algebraic sum of moment is equal to about at a point is equal to shall be 0 for equilibrium condition. Okay, means that beam shall to be in equilibrium. The sum of the moments at any point, if you take it, calculate the moment, sum of the moments, algebraic sum of the moments at any point, about any point, that shall be equal to 0. Okay, then only the beam is said to be in equilibrium. Right. So now in this case, let us say sigma m is equal to 0. Let us calculate the A. Right. So I am taking about the A point. So A point means calculate the due to all the forces, calculate the moment at point A. So this is point A about which you have to calculate. But there are the two forces are acting. Again, there are three forces are there. One is a downward load, that is a external load given, and the second one is a reaction at B, and third one is reaction at A. But thing is that if you observe it, the reaction at A is will passing to the point, okay, about which we are taking. We are taking the moments about A, means this is the point A. This load is passing to the point A. Means as per the first moment theorem, so it says that if a moment point is moment you are calculating, that will be if it is on the line of action. lying on the line of action, the moment is equal to 0. Okay, so moment point lies on the line of action. This is a line of action of your force. Okay, this is a line of action vertically upwards. On this point, wherever it is take the moment, that will be equal to 0. That is as per first theorem of moments. That's why it is also A is lying on this line of action of the RA. That's why moment created by RA is equal to 0. Now let us see the take the moment about the remaining points. So RB into, so we are saying that some of the clockwise movement is equal to some of the anti-clockwise movements. Okay, so always so some of the clockwise movements, some of the anti-clockwise movements. So this force is creating what sort of movement? It is what type of movement? Again, it is creating a, so it is rotating this beam in the anti-clockwise direction. So it is nothing but anti-clockwise. It is RB is creating anti-clockwise movement. So RB is a force. What is the length? About the from the point where we need the moment required at A. And where is load is acting? Line of action of the load. So this is the line of action of the load. And what is the distance between these two? Perpendicular distance 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 is nothing but 8 meters. So RB into 8 meters is equal to, this is nothing but anti-clockwise, some of the anti-clockwise moments. Now calculate some of the clockwise moments. So clockwise means only one force. Okay, so this will create a clockwise moment. So clockwise moment is nothing but what is how much it is? 32 into 2 meters. Force into perpendicular distance 32 into 2 meters. Okay, so from this one, what is RB? So RB is equal to, so 8 for the 32, 4 to the 8. So it means that RB is equal to 8 kilonewtons. Okay, so RB is equal to 8 kilonewtons. So when RA plus, what is RA plus RB is equal to 32. When RB is equal to 32, RA shall be 24. That is nothing. Sorry, if you substitute RA in this first equation, RB value in this equation, RA plus 8 is equal to 32. So RA is equal to 32 minus 8. It's nothing but 24 kilonewtons. Right. So RA is equal to 24 kilonewtons. So it is again while discussing about the parallel calculation of unlike parallel moment, resultant as well as a line of action of the resultant, we are discuss something. Okay, one what is called inference we have discussed. So inference is nothing but, what is that inference? The loads are the distance of line of action of the resultant is inversely proportional to the their magnitudes. Means if it is magnitude is less, the line of action of the resultant will be closer to that load. Okay, so that's the thing is that in this case also, if you can see this one. So it is just like two upward forces. This is like a resultant. Okay. So in this case, the resultant, this force is generally the resultant. This force is 24 kilonewtons. So 24, the load, this load will be near to this one. Means you can say in other words. Okay. If you forget about this one, let us leave it. Generally, when the load is closer to the rear support, that will subjected to higher the more amount of more quantity of magnitude, more magnitude of reaction. Okay, so other words I will say that. So it is I will repeat it once again. When the load is closer to this one support, that reaction will be more compared to other one, far one. Okay, so that is the, you have to remember, because sometimes in the hurry of calculating the things, you might have uh, mistake it, so that it will get reversed. It will get reversed. Don't write blindly like that. Okay, you have to just again just cross check. This is like a cross check. So you can see how to see that, okay, whether it is correct or not. We can say directly once it is show, if you see the problem itself, we can able to see that which reaction will have more. Sometimes most of the cases you can find it out. Okay, so loads which are closer to the support, that support will subjected to more reaction. Okay, that will develop more reaction compared to other one. Right, so that is the thing is. So this is how you have to calculate the math. Now to see, let us see the solution. Applying the equilibrium conditions, upward force is equal to downward forces, and RA plus RB is equal to 32. Right. So RA plus RB is equal to 32. That's what we have done. Right. And anti-clockwise moment is equal to clockwise moment. So RA into 7. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. Sorry, I wrote as 8 meters. This is not 8 meters. This is 7 meters. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Okay, so I'm very sorry. So this is not 8, this is 7 only. Okay, 7, right? So this is wrong. I'm very sorry. Okay, so this is wrong. So R 7 RB is equal to 32 into 32 into 2 means 64. So RB is equal to 64 by 7. RB is equal to 64 by 7. So 64 by 7 is nothing but how much we will get? Let us see. 64 by 7 is nothing but 9.14. When the RB is equal to 9.14, so RA is equal to how much? So 32 minus RB, 9.14, that is 22.86. So supported reaction at A is equal to 9.14, support reaction at B is equal to 22.86. Again, if you see this one, support reaction at A, so means it is closer. I think it is reversed here. It is wrong. It is wrongly written here. So this is RB. This is RA. You have to be very much careful here. So this is support B. This is support A. See this one. So here it is RA is. This is RA. This is right. Okay. Here it is a little bit of you have to make it some. Make it. Okay. So this is 9.14. This is RB and this is RB. Right. So like this, you have to calculate the moment, reactions when it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load. Right. Now this is let us go to the next problem. It is nothing but a simply supported beam. So subjected to single overhang shown in the figure. So it is a single overhanging beam. Of course, this is overhanging beam is nothing but also it is like a simply supported only, but one end or two ends, one end or either two ends or only one end, that will be some portion of this beam is extended, means projected beyond the support. That is nothing but a overhang beams. Okay, so in this case, how to calculate the support reactions, right? So again, if you take a simply supported beam, overhang beam, so in this it is only single overhang is there. In this single overhang beam, it is the loads are one point load acting at a distance of 1 meter from the left support and another UDL acting throughout the span. Okay, including that overhang. It is acting through entire length of the span, entire span of the overhang beam. Now let us see how to calculate the support reactions. Again, there can be any number of beams, there can be any type of beam. The conditions will be same. Okay, sum of the vertical force equal to 0, sum of the moments is equal to 0. Because another equation is that is not required for us. Okay, because sum of the horizontal force is equal to 0, but there is no horizontal force in this one. All are subjected to only transverse loading, means vertical loading. So that's why there is no issue of there is no meaning of using a horizontal equal to sum of the horizontal force equal to 0. That is all not at all requires. Okay, not useful that equation. When that is equation is useful means when it is subjected to any inclined loading, then you will get a horizontal component. In that kind, there is a possibility of reaction at a horizontal direction. So that's why it is when subjected to vertical loading or transverse loading, we are not supposed to use that equation. That doesn't require. Even if you use it, you get 0. You don't get anything from this one. Okay, that's why we are not using that equation. Now let us take one by equation. So let RA and RE be the support reactions at A and B. So applying conditions of equilibrium. So conditions of equilibrium, what is the first one? So this is nothing but this is sum of the vertical upward force equal to sum of the downward forces. This is nothing but sigma B is equal to 0. So sigma V is equal to 0. Sum of the vertical force equal to 0. This equation, right? So sum of the vertical forces is equal to 0 means nothing but sum of the upward forces, downward force. There can be two types of force. One is applying upward forces and downward forces. We are equating those two, right? So RA plus RB is equal to 30 plus 10.5 is equal to 80 kilonewtons. So that is nothing but RA plus RB. Some of the reactions, upward forces. This is nothing but upward forces. Upward force is nothing but only reactions. That is nothing RA plus RB is equal to sum of the downward forces. What are the downward forces acting in the beam? So this is nothing but one point load and one UDL. So what is the point load is 30 kilonewtons. What is the UDL? Intensity of load is nothing but 10 kilonewton per meter. Now we have to first calculate the total load, or total load. If I say the total load, or you can think that it is just like convert into this UDL into a equivalent point load. Like that also you can say anyway. Okay, both are and set. So convert this UDL into a equivalent point load. How to convert? So multiply this intensity of load with the span of the beam. Okay, span of the beam means through which the UDL is acting. So in this case, UDL is acting throughout the span, entire span. Entire span is nothing but 1 plus 4, 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 1, 5 meters. So it is acting entire 5 meters. So that's why it is what is the equivalent point load? 10 means intensity of load into the span over which the load is acting. So intensity of load is in this case is nothing but 10. And what is the span over which it is acting? The diagram. That is nothing but 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5 meters. 10 into 5, 50 kilonewtons. Okay, 50 kilonewtons. Again, don't write 50 kilonewton per meter. Again, when you are multiplying with the kilonewton per meter with the meter, obviously meter it get cancelled and remaining is nothing but kilonewton. That's why you have to, another way you can remember this one. What is the units? So 10, right? I will write it in 10 kilonewton per meter. This is nothing but the intensity of load. Okay, to get the total equivalent point load, what we are doing? We are multiplying intensity of load with the for a span for which it is acting. Means how much span it is acting, for how much length it is acting. 1 plus 4, 3, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So 5 meters. It is acting for a length of 5 meters. Okay, so again this is meter, not 3. Okay, so kilonewton, 10 kilonewton per meter, 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, here it is denominator 5 meter is there. Again we are multiplying again with the 5 meters. Meter, what is the unit can cancel. What is the remaining? 10 kilonewtons. 5 into 10, 50 kilonewtons. That's all you have to remember. Okay, so don't again get confused with the units again, and don't write after multiplying. Also, if you write it kilo, 50 kilonewton per meter, that is meaningless. Okay, so that will be unnecessarily. It implies that you are not understood the concept of this UDL concept. Okay, so that is how to you have to calculate. So this is 50 kilometers. Now you are converted EDL into equivalent point load. Okay, so you are calculated. It's okay. Now yeah, Veritex again. We have to find the line of action of this equivalent point load. Okay, so you have to convert this UDL into a point load, equivalent point load. You are converted. That is nothing but 50p. Now you have to find this position, means where point of application. So again, point of application I already discussed that it is just like a rectangular load. It is like a rectangle, simple. Okay, it is rectangle, but we are showing like this. But strictly speaking, the UDL has to be shown like this. Okay, a rectangular box and arrows towards the downward means it is downwards. What is arrows indicates that it is nothing but it is a load is acting downwards. That is indicate that one we are doing this one. Okay, so it is we have to divide this like this. It is we have to show UDL like this. Okay, this is the actual correct representation of showing the UDL, not just like is like this. But only thing is that unnecessary to save some time we are doing all these things. Okay, right. So now it is like a rectangle. Okay, it is a rectangle. Where the midpoint of the center, midpoint of this center rectangle. So midpoint of the rectangle is nothing but its center. Midpoint is nothing but half of the its length by 2. Half, what is the length? 3 plus 1, 5. Half of the length is nothing but 2.5 meters. So it is nothing but at a distance of 2.5 meters. You have to show that length, that equivalent point load. What is the intensity? Intensity is nothing but 50 kilonewtons. Okay, 50 kilonewtons. Now you are ready with it. Again, you remove. Once you are shown with equivalent load, then you have to remove this UDL. Okay, don't again. We should not even not consider about. We should not consider, and we should not show that also. Okay, so that's what you have to do. You shown that is not shown. Not shown. That is not at all shown. I will show it. Okay, I will show you beam here. is a support A, and this is support B. B. This is nothing but RB, and this is nothing but RA, support reaction at A. And a load of 30 kilonewtons. That is a point load that is given in the problem, 30 kilonewtons. That will act at a length of 1 meter. 1 meter. This is acting at 1 meter distance from the red support. Now again one more we are again one more UDL was there, that is a 10 kilonewton per meter. Now we are but we are converted that UDL into a equivalent point load. So that is nothing but equivalent point load is nothing but your 50 kilonewtons. Equivalent point load is nothing but 50 kilonewtons. Okay, so where it acts at the midpoint of this length. Okay, over which UDL acts. Always one more thing. It is, don't think that always the UDL acts in the total span divided by 2. Not like that. It is for how much length it is acting UDL, for which length by 2 you have to do. That's all. That is nothing but. Okay. So in this case, it is UDL is acting throughout the length. This is the total entire 5 meters. So that's why it is 5 divided by 2 means midpoint means 5 by 2. 5 by 2 means 2.5. So this already 1 meter is over. That is another 1.5 here. Right, another 1.5 here. Okay. So this is another 1.5. This is the distance. 2.5 from the left support. As well as 2.5 from the free end, not from the support. Again, remember. So don't get confused with support is there. Here it is 2.5 from the end, because it is UDL is acting throughout the span, up to even including overhangs also. So now let us calculate the support reactions. Let RA, and this is how first you have to draw. Okay, you have to convert this into UDL into this distance and draw it. So let RA and RB be the support reactions at A and B. Applying conditions of equilibrium. Sum of upward force equal to sum of the downward forces. Sum of the upward force is nothing but RA plus RB, and downward force is nothing but, so this is 10 into 5, that is nothing but UDL, equivalent point load, and plus 30, that is 80 kilonewton meter. 80 kilonewton, sorry. Right. Now we need another equation, because 2 are unknowns. We need another equation that can be generated in using the other condition, that is nothing but sum of the moments about is equal to sum of the moments equal to 0. So again, taking the moments about point A, so RB into 4, right? So RB into 4, okay, because in this case it is 1.5, 2.5, another 1.5 meters is there. So total RB distance between the supports is nothing but 4 meters, right? So taking the moments means sum of the anti-clockwise moments is equal to clockwise moments. So anti-clockwise means only the support B reaction, support RB will have a anti-clockwise moment, and remaining these two applied loads will create a clockwise moments. That's why it is first anti-clockwise calculated anti-clockwise moment, that is RB into 4, means distance, force into distance. Force is nothing but unknown reaction, that is RB into 4 meters. RB into 4 is equal to clockwise moments. Clockwise means these two will clockwise movement. This is creating, it is likely to rotate the beam in clockwise direction. That's why it is creating clockwise movement. So 50 into, what is the distance? Not 1.5. Again, don't get confused. We are taking the moments about point A. So that's why distance is always from the point A to the load, up where the point of application of the load considered. Right? So 50 into 2.5 plus 30 into 1 meter. That is what we have written. If 30 into 1 plus 10 into 5 into 5 by 2 is equal to, what is 10 into 5 into 5 by 2 is nothing but, I will explain another, because we are calculated equivalent load, so that's why it is no issue at all. But if we, without calculating the equivalent load, how to convert this is nothing but, so point load is no issue at all. Point load already we can calculate it easily. I'm not considering it in point load. Now let us calculate only this UDL only. Okay, 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, this is total length 5 meters. So here to here it is 5 meters. Okay, 5 meters. This is total 5 meters length it is acting. So what is that? 30 into 1. Okay, that is the moment due to point load. Okay. Now let us calculate the moment due to UDL. So first it is nothing but we have to calculate the total load. Total load or equivalent point load. That is nothing but 10 into 5. Okay. 10 into 5 is nothing but 50. That is nothing but this one. Okay. And where it acts, we already discussed that it acts at this midpoint of the load. Means at the center point of the load. Center point means total length. Total length, how much length it is acting? 5 meters is acting. 5 meters by 2. Means center point means 5 by 2. That's what this is 5 by 2. Okay, instead of every time, instead of writing again the beam, showing the beam with the equivalent point load, everything, you can do like this directly. Okay, so in the initial problem, that's why it is in the first problem we have discussed about the only convert this into equivalent point load again using this one. But in this case, every time it is not requires that one. Now just directly we can take the moments. Now first of all, I will repeat once again. So how to, what is this moment? This is nothing but force. So whereas what is again, it is a given force, a given UDL itself is a force. Okay, but that is intensity of load. That will be units. See the units, it is kilonewton per meter. So what is the units of our moment? So moment units are kilonewton meter or Newton meter. Okay, units of moment is nothing but kilonewton meter or Newton meter. Right. So for example, kilonewton meter for say. But if you directly, if you say that 10 into 5 by 2, what happens? 10 into 5 by 2 means 10 is the force. If it is 5 means 5 into, this is 10 into 5. You'll get only 50. Okay. 10 into 5 by 2 means 10 is a kilonewton per meter and this is 5 is a meters. Kilonewton per meter means you will get only load. You will not get a moment. We need the moment, not the load. So that's why it is first to convert this load into total load. Can calculate the total load. Calculate the total. How to calculate the total load? Just like it is a point load. Converting into point load. Equivalent point load. How we are doing? Intensity of load into length for which the UDL is acting. Okay. Means or span for which the UDL is acting. Nothing but 10 into 5. That's nothing but load. This is nothing but load or force. Load and force are both one and same. Okay. Sometimes we use the term, sometimes we use the force, sometimes we use the moment. Both are one and same. Okay. So 10 into 5 into distance where it is acts. So UDL is uniformly distributed. There is no specific point of application. It is entirely distributed. Okay, per length. So but to calculate the moment, we need to know the where it acts. Okay, point of application. So for that one, where it acts means it is concentrates. This load will be assumed to be concentrates at a center point of the load UDLs. Okay, at the center point of UDL. So that load is assumed to be concentrated at the center point of the load. That is the thing we are using. That it is 5 by 2 means half of the length we are taking. We are assuming that the load will be concentrated at a 5 point, the half of the that UDL length. Okay, half of the UDL length is nothing but half of the span. That's what we are considering. That's why we are using the 5 by 2 here. Okay, and that's why if you calculate the things, it's nothing but RB into 4. So if RB is nothing but this is RB, this is RB into 4 meters equal to 30 into 1. 30 means what is the 30? So 30 is the, of course, UDR, point load is there. 30 is there. It is acting at a distance of 1 meter. That's why it is 30 into 1. Again, this is moment due to UDL. Always be careful about UDL intensity into over which the UDL acting. That is nothing but this 5. Okay, into that length divided by means for which the UDL acting, that divided by 2. Okay. That is nothing but moment due to UDL. Right. If we calculate that one, it is will be total RB into 4 is equal to 155 kilonewtons. 155 kilonewtons. So RB is equal to 155 by 4. So 38.75 kilonewtons. So this is how you can calculate the reactions. Once it is unknown is known, your remaining reaction you can use the using first equation calculate the support reactions at A and B. So RA plus RB is equal to 80 because it is 50 plus 30. 80. So RA plus 38.75 is equal to 80. So RA is equal to 41.25. Again, at the end of this one, you better to write a tabulate the answers. Tabulate means just you write all the answers, whatever that is asked in the question, so that it will be easily identified the answer. Right? RA is equal to 41.25, RB is equal to 38.75. Okay. So these are about two problems, how to calculate the reactions of the beams. Now we have what we have done. So in this class we have discussed about the one is how to calculate the uh, reactions of the simply supported beam as well as the simply supported beam subjected to UDL, and another problem you have solved on the overhang beams subjected to UDL as well as point loads, two loads, combination of loads. We have done these two problems. Now let us go to the next one. It is a cantilever beam, right? So in the cantilever beam, how to calculate the reactions? So determine the reactions at A for the cantilever beam shown below. So this is a cantilever beam. First of all, what is a cantilever beam? Cantilever beam is like what what one end is fixed, other end is free. Okay, that is nothing but cantilever beam. So in this case, if you see that one end is fixed end is nothing but A, and whereas this free end is nothing but B. This is B is nothing but free end. Okay, so B is not given here. So this is at the end is nothing but a free end, right? So now for which we have to calculate the support reactions. So what is the reactions first of all here? So in previous problems always there are two supports are there, RA and RB, but in this case only one support, right? So one support means you have to write that equation. The same thing whatever the, if you are applying force means there shall be always a reaction shall be there. Until unless there is no reaction, the equilibrium will not be maintained. So that's why we are applying a load means there will be some, we are applying a load here. Obviously there shall be some reaction shall be there. The reaction may be in terms of vertical force, the reaction may be in terms of horizontal force, the reaction may be in terms of moment. Okay, all these are nothing but reaction. Don't think that reaction means always forces. Okay, vertical force and all the force. That not only that, moment is also one type of reaction. Okay, that is called a reacting moment. Okay, applied moment, reacting moment. If you apply any moment at point, that we call it applied moment. If we a moment is developed in the form of reaction due to another loads, is nothing but we call it a reacting moment. Okay, reactive moment. Okay, or reaction moment. So in this case, it is applied. It is a support A, it is a fixed end. So in the fixed end, while discussing that reactions and their types of support reaction they exerted, we have discussed that support fixed end will be offer three types of resistance. One is a horizontal reaction, vertical reaction, as well as moment. All three types of reactions it will offers, right? So in this case, it is a one end is fixed means it can also offer horizontal, vertical, as well as moment. But thing is that in this case again there is no horizontal reaction, there is no possibility because there is no inclined load or there is no horizontal load acting on this member. So that's why there is no question of any horizontal reaction. Only thing is that there is a possibility of vertical reaction as well as moment reaction. Okay. Now for this case also we have to find how to reactions that will be generated at this phase. Okay. So reaction at A is nothing but what sum of the vertical force equal to 0. Okay. Sum of the vertical force equal to 0 means again whatever the load it is acting downwards. Okay. So two loads are there. One is a point load, another one is a UDL. Again, for UDL, you have to convert this UDL into total load or equivalent point load. Both are equivalent point. I am using the two terms repeatedly. Okay, one is equivalent point load, other one is a total load. Both are in the case of converting this. We are using that these terms only to convert this UDL into a loads. Okay, equivalent loads. That's what we are using. Both are one and same. Okay. Again, don't confuse with sometimes he is using this term and sometimes he is using this term. Okay, both are one and same. So what is the total load? So total load is nothing but intensity of load into span for which UDL is acting. The span for which UDL, how much for what span it is acting? It is acting up to 2 meters. Okay, 2 meters. UDL intensity is nothing but 10 kilometers. 10 into 20 is nothing but total or equivalent point load. Also, we are calling it as the equivalent point load. 10 into 2, right? So total, what is the total downward load in this case? 10 into 2, 20 plus 30. 30 plus 20, total 50 kilometers downward load. when it is total 50 kilonewtons downward load is acting, means there shall be some reaction in upward direction to keep this beam in equilibrium condition. Okay, means then only that body will be in equilibrium, because some of the upward forces shall be equal to some of the downward forces, then only the equilibrium is maintained. So downward forces is nothing but it is a total downward force is nothing but your applied loads, that is nothing but 50, 30 plus 2, 10 into 2, 20, 50. Total 50 downward load is acting. But upward load, from where it is upward load, in the previous problems we have seen that two supports are there, they will share the the applied loads to downward loads, sometimes equally, if depends on, or sometimes it is unequal. It depends on where the load acting. Okay, so in this case, but in this case there is only one support. Okay, so how this applied upward forces will be comes. Okay, so that is nothing but which will offer the upward force, that is nothing but your fixed end will provide this upward reaction. Okay, this vertical reaction, upward reaction, so equal to magnitude of the downward forces, that is nothing but this one, like this. Okay, these two forces 30 plus, and these are two nothing but acts downwards. So this applied forces will act downwards, and the same amount of your downward forces, this fixed end also will offer upward, opposite to the direction of the applied loads. Okay, so that is nothing but downward, it is upward, then only that will get balanced. Balance means equilibrium is maintained. Okay, so 50 minus 50, 0. That is nothing but no resultant force is nothing but it will be in equilibrium condition. That's what the definition of equilibrium. In this resultant is 0, then that is nothing but the body is said to be in equilibrium condition. The same thing here. Okay, so which will offer the resistance, that is nothing but fixed end will offer the resistance in opposite direction as that of your external loads. So external loads are total 50 kilonewtons downward, is nothing but again this supply, this support A will reaction will be developed equal to the upward forces, that is nothing but 50, and the direction will be opposite to the of your loads. Okay. So loads are downward means reaction will be upwards, the loads are upward means reaction will be downwards. Okay, that is a simple logic, vice versa, right? So that is the case of your support reactions. Means support reaction RA is equal to 50 kilonewtons. No calculations, no equations, nothing. Yes, just it is simple. RA is applying the sum of the vertical force equal to 0, only that we will get directly, because only one unknown is there. If there is another support is there, another unknown will be there, then we need to have this calculate the moment, another equation requires. But in this case only one support, one reaction, that's all it's all. Right, next one is cantilever beam, means a fixed at one end and fixed at the other end. The fixed will offer horizontal, vertical and moment reactions. Let RA be the vertical support reaction at A. Applying the conditions of equilibrium, sum of the vertical force equal to 0. That is nothing but sum of the upward force is equal to sum of the downward forces. Upward force is nothing but it is reaction exerted by the support A, that is equal to RA is equal to 30 plus 10 into 250 kilonewtons. That's all. And you have to show that this is a direction. So wherever the reactions are calculating, you have to show the direction, upward or downward or inclined, right? That we have to show. Next one is fixed support have moment reaction at A. Let the moment at A is MA. Sum of the moment support A. Okay, anti-clockwise moment is equal to clockwise moments. So MA is equal to what? 30 into 5 means you point load into moment distance plus 10 into 2 into 2 bits. That is nothing but your anti-clockwise. This is okay. So let us, I will write once again. So this is your point load. So we are calculating moments about this point. So this is load is at free end, that is nothing but 30, and another UDL is there. It's 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so this total span is, this is 2 meters. This is 3 meters. Okay, this is 2, this is 2. So moment about A is nothing anti-clockwise moment, clockwise moments, right? So in this case we are equating these two. Okay, so when these loads, first let us discuss about the applied loads. Applied loads, what sort of moment they are providing? Clockwise moments. This one as well as this one, both will provide clockwise moments. Obviously the moment shall be in opposite direction. Okay, then only the equilibrium is maintained. Okay, obviously it shall be in opposite direction of your applied loads. Moment due to applied load. The moment due to applied load is both are clockwise, means your reactive moment or your reaction in the form of moment shall be in opposite direction. That is nothing but your right in the form of against opposite to direction of the sun. That's nothing but this is nothing but MA, right? So MA is anti-clockwise. That's why MA is an anti-clockwise direction, and these two are clockwise directions. Again, 30 into 5, force into perpendicular distance. So this is moment, and again this is convert this is into total load. Calculate the total load and see the point of application of this where the load is concentrated. Again, half of this length. Half of this length is nothing but 2 by 2. So 2 by 2. So 10 into 2 is the total load. 2 by 2 is nothing but where it is acting. 2 by 2 is 1 meter. So it is 1. 2 by 2 is 1 meter. So that's why if we calculate, so we'll get MA is equal to 170 kilonewton meter. Okay, like that you have to calculate the reactions for the what is called. Of course, again you have to show this direction also. This MA will be in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, moment reactive force will be in anti-clockwise direction. You have to show. Right. This is how you have to calculate the support reaction for the cantilever beams. Okay. So let us start here.